Today on Judge Faith, this mother claims she wants what's best for her athletic son.
I prefer not to have my son in any ghetto. I will want my son in another race of team.
But does she prefer to play the race card?
The presidents are black, the coaches are black. I was telling him that I would rather take him to another type of league.
Because you think that all black people who run leagues are dysfunctional and disorganized?
But who's jumping who?
She's in full-fledged gangster mode.
How many people did he say jumped on him?
He said 4 boys jumped on him.
She's telling the kids, we can line it up. You want to fight my son? Fight now while I'm here. Go get your mamas.
We are dealing with children, and I don't like what I'm hearing.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Ebony Rogers claims her son joined a violent football team where fighting is encouraged. She's suing for a refund of the $365 enrollment fee. Defendant Lee Phillips says the plaintiff violated the parent code of conduct and there are no refunds.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, we have Rogers versus Phillips.
Thank you, Barbara. Ebony Rogers.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Lee Phillips for $365, the return of a football youth league fee.
Yes, ma'am.
As I understand it from reading the papers, you entered your son into a youth football league.
Yes, ma'am.
And you run that league, sir?
That is correct.
Where's the league located?
Lancaster, California.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what happened? Why are you seeking a refund?
June 2014, I met Mr. Phillips.
And where did you meet him?
Me and my son was at a hamburger stand, and Mr. Phillips approached us asking me, did my son play football?
How old is your son?
My son is 9.
So he just walked up, saw your son, and said, does he play football?
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you do that? You were scouting at the hamburger place that day?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And what about him made you think
he looked like an athletic kid that might be able to, play some ball.
All right. So you walk over, you have a conversation with her. What do you say?
I said, hey, how you doing? Do your son play any sports? She kind of rolled her eyes and like, yeah, we do. I introduced her, let her know who I was and what I did. She let me know that she had been to the park and seen our practices before. And I asked her if she was interested in coming out, and seeing if her son might want to join our team.
Okay, and what kind of a youth football league is it? Is it associated with any particular school?
No, it's just, it's out of a league based out of Los Angeles.
Okay, got it. All right, so he has that conversation with you and you decide you're going to take your son out to see what it's all about?
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
Well, after I met him, I informed Mr. Phillips that I didn't want my son in any kind of ghetto football league.
What do you mean by ghetto?
Well, they're very unorganized. The last couple of teams that my son played on...
I have to tell you, that's like one of my pet peeves when people say ghetto, because that word ghetto, people use that now as a very derogatory term to refer to people who are poor and black, and it has such a negative inference that all people who live in a certain neighborhood behave a certain way. So I don't think it's a proper term to use. Go ahead.
Well, I referred to him as the comment that I said, and I told him that I didn't want my son in any type of league of that sort because of the measures that goes with it. I would want my son in another race of team. And I stressed that to Mr. Phillips, that I didn't want to experience the same experience that I experienced before.
With other teams with black people running
yes.
them?
Well, in my area where I live, it's mostly black. Most of the football teams that's ran out there are mostly black. The presidents are black, the coaches are black. So I was telling him that I would rather take him to another type of league.
Because you think that all black people who run leagues are dysfunctional and disorganized?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's just that from what I've heard about his team, it kind of gave me a little shaky about it.
You go on and you take your son and you enroll him in Mr. Phillips' league, and what happens?
Well, everything was going fine.
How much did you pay for enrollment?
I paid $325.
Okay, and your son is 9 years old, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the $325 for, sir?
That covers trophies, pictures, rental of the equipment, and to participate in the game.
Okay, and did you sign something as well? Did you sign a document for your son to be in the league?
An application.
An application, okay. Does anyone have a copy of that?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? Okay, so what happens? You go and you say there are some issues. What happens?
Well, he reassured me that those type of issues that I brought up to him, they wouldn't occur on his football team. His football team is very good. He has a lot of good things that goes on with the kids. He'll be able to exceed in what he wants to do. He told me that he'll make my son a better player than what he is. He reassured me that everything would be fine if my son joined that team and I wouldn't experience the same bad experiences that I'd had previous. So that's why I allowed my son to go to the practice to see if he liked the team.
So when did the first issue take place that you basically saw that it was going to be a problem with your son participating in the league?
The day he got jumped on.
Coming up, a mother's greatest fear plays out off the field.
Where are you? Where are you, son? What's going on? Who are the people that's kicking you?
Did you tell the kids that you could go one-on-one with them?
Well, yeah.
Plaintiff Ebony Rogers claims her son joined a city football team where fighting is encouraged. She's suing for return of the enrollment fee. Defendant Lee Phillips says there are no refunds.
I took my son. His football league was having a car wash. I told Mr. Lee that I'm going to leave my son there. He said, that's fine.
And that's a car wash, a fundraiser?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I left. I proceeded to come back at 1:50. Mr. Lee approached my car asking me, could my son go to a barbecue? So I told him that was fine. I go home to get dressed, and about 20 minutes later, my son calls me very hysterical. Mom, these people are jumping on me. This girl's kicking me. And I'm like, where are you? Where are you, son? What's going on? Who are the people that's kicking you? He goes, I don't know who's kicking me. I don't know. They all were jumping on me. And can you come up here? So now at this point, I'm scared. I'm telling my baby, I'm on my way. I'm coming. When I get there to the park, he's still there crying, hysterical. He said 4 boys jumped on him.
And what did he say? How did this happen? What did he say?
He said that they were getting ready to play a football game. And they made my son the team captain, and I guess the boy got upset and just hit my son for no reason.
Okay, and what did you do when you got there? Who did you approach about this?
One of the parents, I guess, of one of the kids that was fighting, he approached me and told me what was going on.
All right, what do you have to say about what happened?
First
Were
of
you
all,
there?
No, I was not there.
Okay,
because it was not a Colts barbecue. I was not at the barbecue. Everyone left the car wash. I went home. I'm half in the shower, half out. My phone is blowing up. I answer my phone, and parents say, hey, you need to get over here right now because Ebony is at the barbecue acting up. So I go to the barbecue, it was a kid on a team birthday. I get there, and she's in full-fledged gangster mode. She's telling the kids, we can line it up. You want to fight my son? Fight now while I'm here. Go get your mamas. So I calm the situation down.
Is that what you were saying?
I was upset, Judge. And I asked them what
were you
was
saying
going
to the
on.
kids? Did you tell the kids that you could go one-on-one with them?
Well, yeah.
You did?
Well, yes, Judge,
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Because I was an angry parent at the time. My baby called me really hysterical. He's never been in a football team where he has to fight his teammates. And then he tells me this boy has fought 6 people already, and even his son. And I'm telling him, well, why is he allowed to still be on your team?
Okay, so go ahead.
Anyway, so I get there, I calm the situation down. She goes berserk on her son. I told you this is why we don't sign up with these ghetto-ass teams, with a bunch of foul language. She asked her son, do you still want to be on his team? He said, yes, I do. She said, get in the car, you're not on his team. He breaks down crying. She cusses him out. She gets in the car and speeds off, and her son stays at the barbecue. And, I stayed around.
Did you curse him out?
No.
Oh, my
Why
God.
would I cuss my son out?
Is she under oath right now?
You said you brought a witness?
I sure did bring a witness.
Bring him in. Let's bring him in.
Germo.
How are you? How are you, sir? What's your name?
My name is Gamaliel Zuniga.
Okay, and how do you know the defendant?
He's the coach of my son's team.
Okay, and are you familiar with the plaintiff as well?
Somewhat.
Mr. Phillips was just telling me about an incident that took place at a barbecue.
So I told everybody, you can come to my kid's birthday party. Doing a little barbecue for him.
And how old is
Please.
your son?
He's 11.
Okay.
He just turned 11 that day. I said, make sure that you come with your kids. It's not a daycare. So from what I saw is they started arguing. Her son threw a punch, right hand. It didn't go his way, so he got hit. So that's when I yelled.
So who threw the first punch?
Her son did.
Okay.
So I screamed as soon as I saw them arguing.
When you say it didn't go her son's way, how many kids were in a scuffle at this point?
Just one.
Oh, so it was just her son and one other kid?
His
Yes.
son is the one that choked my baby.
Okay, my son is a big boy.
Right.
I don't condone violence. He went in there, he stopped it. He pushed both of them, spread them, said stop. That's the lineman of the team. He says stop. Because if you guys are fighting, it's my party. My dad will literally bench us the whole season. Because I don't condone violence. I said, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to play football. You guys are teammates. You shouldn't be fighting. I sat her son down and the other gentleman that was with him.
So at any point, did you see 4 kids jumping on her son at once?
No.
Okay.
So I called him over, set him and the other kid that was with him down because I didn't know who they came with. I was looking around, nobody was with him. So obviously I knew they didn't come with a parent. He was
Were you
fine.
there when she gets there?
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that.
I was grilling the chicken. She gets there talking about, oh, hell no, you guys didn't hit my son. You guys are hitting my baby. We're going to line them up one by one. I said, nope, nobody's lining them up. I'm not about to have my boys line up with anybody.
What do you mean line up?
One by one. Let's go one by one.
More fighting.
Yeah.
By the time she got there, how much time had passed by? The kids were already back being kids again and playing. They had already eaten and they were back playing.
And how long have you been running this league?
5 years.
Okay, all right. And have you been a part of the league for how many years?
I don't know him that well. I just, since
His
July?
first year.
First
Oh,
time.
okay, and have there ever been any issues in terms of violence and fighting among the kids that you know of?
No, one time his son and my son were getting into an argument. He stepped in and told him, hey, you can't be fighting here. You guys need to take a lap together.
Okay,
And-
all right, thank you, sir. You're excused, thank you.
Okay, not a problem.
Coming up, Judge Faith sets the record straight.
Listen, first of all, there's no crying in football.
Thank
First
you.
of all.
Thank you. She took off her hat and her glasses and challenged me to a fight.
Plaintiff Ebony Rogers says her son joined a youth football team where fighting was encouraged. She's suing for the refund of the enrollment fee. Defendant Lee Phillips says the plaintiff was violent and refunds aren't allowed.
How long after the fight occurs does she call you and request a refund?
3 days.
Okay. How many practices had her son attended at that point, approximately?
June to August. To late August.
And they only
Okay, so
practice
2 months.
3 days a week.
So 2 months.
Yeah.
He's a part of the league
Yes.
for 2 months. Did he play in any games?
He played in the 7-on-7 tournament. And he
What is
went
that?
to several, that's where it's just a passing tournament where only skilled players, and he went to countless field trips with the team.
Okay,
And that
and
was for
so
free.
you call. So why are you asking for a refund if the policy, which I know you submitted to me, the application, the policy does say that after 3 days, any dues that are paid are non-refundable? Why do you think you're entitled to a refund?
Can I see that? Because I never.
Well, you signed it. I mean, this is your signature, right?
That's not my handwriting at the top. This is not me either. That's not my
Oh, so you think that
handwriting.
you're telling me this is a forged document? This document is forged,
Nor the
Ms.
writing
Rogers?
at the top is mine.
Ms. Rogers, is this document a forged document?
I believe so.
You didn't sign this?
I don't think so.
You didn't sign an application. This is not your signature. You didn't sign this application on July 10th, 2014.
No.
Okay, I don't believe you, ma'am. I don't believe you. Why do you think you're entitled to a refund?
He got jumped on with these other kids. And I don't think that's right. And then he threatened me at his house and then reassured me that I would get my money back.
Your Honor,
That's
that is
my whole
incorrect.
reason why
I
I'm
have a
getting my money
statement.
back. Because in the
Excuse me.
text message, he also put, if I give him back everything that I paid for, he will return me my money.
Okay, and why did you send her that text? She
Ma'am,
did submit that
this-
in evidence.
This is what happened. Because I knew that she would be a problem because of her violent nature, I agreed to meet with you and give you a partial refund of half of your monies.
That's not what you said in the text
No,
message.
that's We was gonna give her a refund for half of her money. Now, when she showed up to my home, threw the equipment in my front yard, and went berserk, now I'm gonna stand by my contract because you're in front of my house acting a fool, where I had to call the police. And I have a statement.
Then why didn't they escort me out?
May I see the police report and statement?
No, I have a statement from the gentleman that I was servicing at my home.
So the police showed up at your home.
The police showed up.
Were you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
By
and he
that
told
time,
the police that
What was
the
she
people
doing?
left.
Hold on a second. What was she doing?
She got out acting crazy, cursing up a storm in my neighborhood. I said, Ebony, can you please wait in your car and I will get your son's birth certificate when I'm done with this gentleman.
And that's
she
what
said,
I did.
That's what you didn't do.
May I see the statements, please? So you challenged him to a fight, ma'am?
I didn't challenge him to a fight.
What did you say
I
or
went over
do?
there. I told him, I said, I come to get my. When I first approached his house, he got upset with me, told me to
Did you yell? Did you curse? Did you throw the equipment? Did you do any of those things?
I did not yell. I didn't throw any equipment. I sat the equipment down by his truck.
Were you cursing him out, ma'am?
No.
Okay, because I have a statement from a witness here who said you got out of your car, you were extremely aggressive, you threw the football equipment, you were using vulgar and obscene language, you were irate, you were cursing him out.
Well, if that's the case, well, when the police came, why didn't he tell them that I was still doing that?
And as evidence of that, I have the fact that he called the police.
You try to take your son.
He didn't
You
want
try
to
to
be
take your
there,
son
Coach
3
Lee.
times,
He didn't
and
want to
every
be
time
there,
you
Coach
cussed him
Lee.
out because he told you he did not want to leave this
Yeah,
team.
you
True or
made my
false?
baby do
All right.
400 push-ups crying, right?
Okay,
And
so-
all the
It's
rest-
Hell Week. It's Hell Week. It's football, baby.
Those kids are 8.
Come on, man.
Excuse
I'm
me.
not with none of that.
There was no Hell Week.
That was Hell Week.
Based on
There was
everything,
no Hell Week.
ma'am,
And look,
based on
after
everything.
your son, when you tried to pull your son that day, he cried and said he didn't want to go. He wanted to stay and overcome the weakness.
Listen, first of all, there's no crying in football.
Thank
First
you.
of all.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
I have to tell you, based on the testimony and the statements that I've read, ma'am, you look like you're the one that has the behavior problem.
I don't. They're lying on me.
So what I have here is someone who is running a youth football league, and you can call it ghetto and you don't want to deal with black people or whatever, but I have here someone who's running a youth football league trying to do some good for kids in the community, and you want to berate that. You want to turn your nose up to it, and I don't appreciate that. I find some of your statements to be quite troubling, frankly, and I think that people listening might even call you racist. I think you have some type of self-hatred issues going on, and if you're not careful, you love your son and you want to do right by him, but if you're not careful, if this is the perspective that you are sharing and teaching him, you're going to pass on those same issues and your same very skewed worldview onto him, and I think that's very sad. Your son participated in the league for at least a couple of months. He played in at least one tournament, and above all of that, you signed a document that stated that the fees that you paid would be non-refundable. So I'm going by what's on the contract, ma'am.
Judge,
so my
if you look
judgment
at
in
my
this case,
signatures, those are not my signatures.
I believe they are your signatures, ma'am. My judgment in this case is for the defendant. Have a good day.
2 dogs killed. Each owner points the finger at the other.
My mother called over to Sarah and told her that the dogs were killing our dog and she needed to come get her dog.
I understand that her dog died, but you know what? My dog died because of this situation as well.
So you think this is one big setup and she wanted her dog to get killed by your pit bull?
And later, furniture flies during an attempted delivery of a bedroom set.
I turned back to pay attention to where I was going, and the next time when I looked in my rearview mirror again, I seen everything just fly off the truck.
Onto the highway?
Onto the highway.
Wow.
When I finna retrieve the mattress in the box spring, here come an 18-wheeler, ran over it. I'm seeing it, and I'm looking in my eyes like my life flashed into my eyes.
The furniture even falling off on the highway is so dangerous.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. In a dog-eat-dog world, plaintiff Tarika Maxwell says her neighbor's pit bull attacked and killed her dog, Rocky. She's suing for the cost to replace her pet and cremation fees. Defendant Sarah Scholl says her dog was wrongfully accused, and now he's dead. She's countersuing.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. This case is Maxwell versus Scholl.
Thank you, Barbara. Ms. Maxwell, you say your neighbor is responsible for the death of your dog. You're suing for $1,200 for cremation services and to replace your dog. Ms. Scholl, you say you had nothing to do with her dog's death, so you owe nothing. In fact, you're countersuing for $2,250 to replace your dog. Ms. Maxwell, what's going on?
On December 30th, 2013, the plaintiff's dogs came into my backyard and murdered my baby Rocky. My grandmother went to let the dogs out to use the restroom. The dogs ran downstairs to the left, and we seen Sarah's pit bulls coming to the right, and they came on top of the dog. We can hear Rocky crying and screaming.
Rocky is the name of your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what kind of dog is Rocky?
Rocky was a Yorkie.
How long did you have him?
Rocky was 2 years old.
You have a picture of him?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you and the defendant been neighbors?
I moved in with my grandmother May 2013. My grandmother has lived in that house for over 14, 15 years.
Okay. And have her dogs gotten out before?
Yes, ma'am. They've had incidents in the past before we moved in.
Rocky is cute. Very cute. Well, I'm sorry about your loss.
Thank you.
So you saw the defendant's dogs on
Yes,
top of
ma'am.
Rocky?
Yes.
Okay,
ma'am.
and who else saw that?
My grandmother.
Okay, and what did you do?
We were just trying to get their attention. One of the dogs ran onto the porch at us, so we ran back in the house. My mother called over to Sarah and told her that the dogs were killing our dog and she needed to come get her dog. Mm-hmm. And then she hung up, she called the police as well to come and help us to get the dogs. After a while, Sarah's fiance ran into the yard and he got the dogs, but they kept running away from him. And they kept going back over to the spot where Rocky was.
They were nowhere near that dog.
I didn't ask you a question.
After a while, Sarah finally came to the fence. She was acting like she couldn't get in the yard.
So you spoke to Sarah immediately in the aftermath of this happening?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
She didn't say anything to us. She never came over and explained how they got over in our yard. She never apologized. We have never spoke to Sarah.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
You submitted it with the evidence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'll take a look at that. Tell me about the times that her dogs got loose before.
A month before that, November 2013, her dogs had got loose. She was not home. Her dog attacked Rocky and my grandmother's poodle.
Okay. All right, Ms. Scholl, how did your dogs get in her yard?
Well, I believe they were called over there, first of all.
By who?
Whoever was in the backyard. First of all, I was in the kitchen cooking dinner on the night of the incident. My dogs, we had let them out to go to the bathroom. We turned the back light on. We also had an agreement with our neighbor saying, hey, if you see our back light on, don't let your dogs out because our dogs are in the backyard.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Yes, we have. We
That's
have had
not true.
this agreement for several years because we have had problems because my neighbors have little dogs that for no reason will come running to the fence barking uncontrollably. They aggravate my dogs. And
okay, dogs are dogs, and when you have
Exactly.
let me explain something to you. Dogs are animals. They do what animals do. So when you have a case like this, when someone's dog has been killed, it's not about what the dogs did. It's about what the owner did or did not do. So how did your dog get into her yard?
So on the night that this happened, we let our dogs out to go to the bathroom. I was in the kitchen cooking dinner. I saw my dogs on the back porch. They were wanting to get back in the house. not 2 seconds later, our phone rang. And I don't know who it was, but whoever was on the phone said, your dog is over here eating my dog. Just like that, there was no hysteria, there was no nothing. We immediately ran over to the other backyard. This all happened within literally 30 seconds to 1 minute of me seeing my dogs on the back porch and getting this phone call. There's not enough time for my dogs to jump the fence, chase her dog around, get it, and not only that, our dogs were on this side of the fence, her dog was on this side of the fence. They were nowhere near her dog.
Okay.
There was no
Your
blood
Honor,
on
can I
my
say
dogs.
something?
There was nothing.
Can I say something?
Yes.
She was not there for a while. Her fiance was in our yard trying to pull the dogs away from Rocky. She didn't come for like 2 minutes.
Where's your
2
fiance?
to 3 minutes until after her fiance was in our yard.
That's convenient.
Coming up on Judge Faith.
Look at these big dogs. Just attacked our dogs. They just attacked our dogs. Both of them.
And later,
I'm looking, and all of a sudden I see the mattress lift up, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope my stuff doesn't fly off of this
Like
truck.
you see the mattress lifting in the air?
plaintiff Tarika Maxwell says her neighbor's pit bull attacked and killed her dog Rocky. Defendant Sarah Schultz says her dogs didn't do it.
How did your dogs get into her yard? You're not answering my question.
Well, first of all, they jumped the fence. But
Okay,
this
so
all
they jumped the
happened
fence.
in a matter of 30 seconds.
So, and that's happened before, right?
It has.
That can't happen.
I
That
understand.
cannot happen. It's your job and your responsibility to keep your dogs in your yard. That can't happen. People should not have to live in fear of your dogs jumping the fence in their yard where you know they have little dogs. They shouldn't have to live in fear of that. What if there were a kid in that backyard?
Which is true. We have since enforced our fence. We raised our fence, and there's been several times that we've come home and part of our top fence is knocked off. Like they are really trying to set it up to make it so...
Oh, so you think this is one big setup and she wanted her dog to get killed by your pit bull?
Well, you know, I understand...
Don't be ridiculous.
I understand that her dog died, but you know what? My dog died because of this situation as well.
Why? Because you're a bad dog owner. If you keep your dogs in your yard,
No, because
your
I
dog will
didn't
not
have the
have
money
to
to get my dog out of the impound at that time.
Absolutely. You even say in your own statement, you walked outside and your pit bulls were in her yard.
Right, on the opposite side of the fence from where her dog was laying.
So there just happened to be your pit bulls in her yard. Her dog just happens to be dead, but your dogs have absolutely nothing to do with it. You're getting more tragic by the minute.
Your Honor, I did submit a video of her dogs on our porch on the November 11th.
Let's have a look.
Look at these big dogs. Just attacked our dogs. They just attacked our dogs. Both of them.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I have a video as well as far as what my dog's temperament really is with my friend's
Are those your
child.
dogs on the video?
Don't you hear her dog barking? And that, of course they're going to do that because they are trying to defend themselves. There's a dog barking
Let me tell
at
you
them.
something. You need to lower your voice. Don't yell at me in my courtroom. That may be how you do things around your house with your dogs, but you're in my house now, and this is my courtroom. Do you have evidence of the cremation costs?
Yes, and this is my baby right here, his cremation.
Okay. It's a really...
They never gave me the
that's a tough
option to
way
cremate
go.
my dog after they killed my dog.
That's your fault.
This is my receipt for the cremation and the adoption papers that show how much I paid for Rocky.
And how much is that?
$800.
I mean, there's no question here that you're liable. Your dogs get out. It's ridiculous. You can't keep your dogs in your own yard. On your counterclaim, I find 0. You are completely responsible for the fact that your pit bulls keep getting out, and they sound like, frankly, they've been terrorizing the neighborhood. I do find in favor of the plaintiff in this case $800 for the cost of Rocky. You did provide proof, and also $200 cremation cost. Verdict $1,000 for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Plaintiff Shanice Hawkins is suing a mover for the value of a bedroom set she says he is responsible for destroying. Defendant Bernard First says it wasn't his fault. He is countersuing for defamation of character.
Ms. Hawkins, you're suing the defendant for $2,000 for the value of a bedroom set plus a refund and pain and suffering. Mr. Furr, you claim you owe the plaintiff nothing because you replaced the bedroom set that she claims that you damaged, and you're countersuing the plaintiff for $500 for defamation of character. Ms. Hawkins, what happened?
Judge, I hired him in April 2014 to transport a bedroom set that I had bought from a guy that I had met off of Craigslist.
Okay, and did you know the defendant prior to hiring him?
No.
How did you find out about him?
He was referred by the guy that I bought the bedroom set from.
Okay, and how much was the agreement between the two of you about how much you would pay him?
$60.
So, do you have a moving company?
No, I don't have no moving company. I'll just do this part-time, okay?
Do you have a license to move, or is this just a hobby you do on the side?
Just a hobby, I do it on the side, you know what I'm saying? The same guy.
And you make money?
I don't
you
think
make money
it's a
from
hobby because he has a sign on the side of the truck that he transfers, that he hauls stuff.
All right, so it is a business, but it's something you say you don't do full time, but you make money from it.
I make money from that.
You came to an agreement to do the move for $60, right?
Right.
Okay, and she did pay you the $60, right?
She paid me the $60.
Okay, so what happens when you meet him at the location to pick up the furniture? What happens next?
Him and his son, they proceed to load the furniture onto his truck. First, he was trying to stack the Chester drawer and the dresser on top of each other. So I told him, like, hold on, that's going to scratch. You can't do it like that. So finally, they put the pieces side by side, and then they put the mattress set on top of it. And I was looking like, I hope this, is okay. But I'm thinking that.
What kind of truck was it?
It was a brown GMC pickup truck.
Okay.
Like from
and how many years have you been in the moving business on the side of your regular job?
Well, part-time, I've been doing it for the last way over 10 years. I said 25 years I've really been doing it.
And you do most of the moves on the back of a pickup truck, or do you have a moving truck?
On the back of a pickup truck.
That's kind of bootleg.
It is. It's very bootleg, Judge.
Next on Judge Faith.
I was distraught from seeing my whole bedroom set with half of my bedroom set
on the highway.
She was gone. She didn't see it.
And a tractor-trailer truck coming down, and the mattress is stuck to the side of it.
Bogus.
Plaintiff Shanice Hawkins is suing a mover for destroying her bedroom set. Defendant Bernard Furr is countersuing for defamation of character.
Okay, so he stacks the furniture on the back of the truck, ties it down. What happens?
When I see the rope, I'm thinking again because it was rope that was tied onto another rope, and,
You're telling me you had some hesitation. What was the hesitation about the quality of the rope?
Yes. So they got everything on the truck, and we proceeded to leave, which he was to trail me because he didn't know where I live, obviously.
And how many miles away was the destination?
Trailing her. She left me.
Well, hold on one second. You knew where you were moving the furniture to, right?
No,
I didn't know I was moving.
So you were following her on, was it a highway?
Yes, it was a highway, but I did not leave him.
She left me. I know. You left me.
Okay, so get me to the highway. Let's get to the highway. What happens on the highway?
I'm constantly looking in my rearview mirror, and I'm looking, and all of a sudden I see the mattress lift up. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope my stuff doesn't fly off of this truck.
You see the mattress lifting in the air?
I literally see the mattress. It hasn't lifted into the air yet, but it's lifting up because the rope that, he had, it was holding it for a little bit.
Okay.
And the next time when I looked in my rearview mirror again, I seen everything just fly off the truck.
Onto the highway?
Onto the highway.
Wow. Okay. Tell me what happened.
Okay, I was going down the highway. I was traveling like 55 miles an hour. She gotta been going like 80 miles an hour. I'm driving. I'm seeing that the wind was high and and the storm was coming. Okay, the wind was picking up the mattress.
Go ahead.
I slowed down to 50 miles an hour, and the wind still was blowing high. So about the time I finna pull over to the edge, the whole thing fell off. Okay, so I jumped out immediately to try to pull it to the side. Jumped out immediately to try to retrieve.
How high was this wind? What storm was coming? Where y'all live? Kansas?
No, I'm telling you now, the wind was blowing, traveling west. We was going east. And the wind was real high, okay?
What happened when the furniture fell off the truck? What did you do?
What I do, I pulled to the shoulder of the highway. Then when I finna retrieve the mattress and the box spring, Here come an 18-wheeler, ran over it. I'm seeing it, and I'm looking in my eyes like my life flashed into my eyes. Life flashed into my eyes. I had to hurry up and run and jump back in my car. If I ran and hit me, I would have life would have been gone.
Well, I mean, the furniture even falling off on the highway is so dangerous.
It was used at that.
What is your counterclaim about, though? Because I don't see how this isn't your fault.
Okay, my counterclaim is that after I got off the highway, we exited off the highway, then I had to retrieve my cell phone to call her up to meet us at the exit. So when we met at the exit, I told her that I had another bedroom set that was my daughter's. I took her to my house and I gave her my daughter's bedroom set.
In exchange for that bedroom set?
Mattress and box spring.
Mattress, box spring, and a bed rug.
Because did you pay him for the move, by the way? Did you pay him for this move?
Yes.
Why?
And the reason why I paid him because when we
accepted
got
the-
to our home,
she
when we
accepted
got
the
to
bedroom
my
set.
home, and they took the mattress and box spring, I'm thinking we finna go and part ways, and I'm sitting in my car, and he walks up to my car. He's like, I'm sorry, I got to get some gas and, give me the weekend and I have your stuff replaced and this, that, and so I just gave him the $60. So that
It's
he
not
could
my
just
fault. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it
away
is.
from my
It is your
car.
fault.
No,
It
it's
is your
not my
fault.
fault.
But
Yes, it is.
Your
It's your
Honor-
responsibility to tie down that furniture. And if it's too windy, then you don't drive. If it's too windy, you pull over on the side of the road. Because if you don't do that, you put your life and everyone else's life on that highway in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You have a counterclaim for $500. What's that about?
Okay, for the bedroom set that I gave her.
Yes.
And humiliation she put me through.
Humiliation?
Right.
How did she humiliate you?
She also told a whole lot of other people.
I don't know anyone.
Wait, told people about what? What happened?
You're right. Told her about the incident or whatever.
And so you think that's defamation and she should pay you because she told people about what happened, what you
Yes,
did?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. No,
Judge
sir.
Faith, the only person that we know between the both of us is the guy that I bought the bedroom set from.
Let me see the pictures you brought with you today.
And yes, I did. I called him because I was distraught when this happened to me.
Let's put these up on the flat screen. What is this a picture of?
Right there in the right corner, that's the piece that's about to fall off. It was broken off.
That piece was
This is
already
the bedroom
broken off.
set that he
That
gave
piece
you in
was already
exchange?
broken off.
No,
No. Your Honor, he did
I'm
not give
speaking.
me a
Hold on
bedroom
one
set.
second.
He gave me a mattress, a box spring, and a broke rail. Those pictures are
But
in
you
there.
agreed to accept
No,
that
then
from
all that was in
him,
mid-condition.
correct?
Yes, I agreed to accept it because I didn't. My mind was not working properly. I did not look over
Your
it.
man wasn't working properly.
Yes, I was distraught
Yeah, no,
from
you wasn't.
seeing my
No, you
whole
wasn't.
bedroom
didn't-
set with
you didn't
half
see
of my
it.
bedroom set
On
fly
the
over the
highway.
highway.
He was gone. She was gone. She didn't see
and
it.
Next
tractor
photo.
trailer truck coming down and the mattress is stuck to the side of it.
Bogus.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Mr. Furr, on the issue of liability, there's no question that you're liable for damaging the plaintiff's property. However, you guys did come to an agreement after that incident, and he actually gave you a new bedroom set in exchange for the bedroom set, and you accepted it. I understand that afterwards you changed your mind and you don't like it now, but at that time period, that's the agreement that the two of you came to replace your bedroom
He did
set.
not give me everything,
However,
Your Honor.
you should not owe him and pay him for that move. That's $60. You're going to pay her back that $60. She should not have to pay you for that move where her furniture was destroyed on the highway because of your negligence. On your counterclaim, sir, that's not defamation. That's just her speaking the truth about what happened. I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings, but that's just the truth. So
right.
0 on your counterclaim,
Accept that.
$60 for you, ma'am. Good luck, folks.
Exes that are over. Try again?
She got upset, started getting very angry, started getting hysterical, started yelling, saying, "It's my gun, give it back."
I confronted him and I kept asking him, "Where's my gun? Where's my gun?" And he got aggressive with me and pushed me up against the garage.
The two of you start dating again in January 2015. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but somebody apparently did.
And later, pet owners confront the groomer who refused to give them a refund.
My wife, she's employed by me. She said I might have nicked the dog. Nicked, not cut.
On her blanket, there was a bunch of blood. I noticed on her elbow, a big part of her skin was missing, and the bone was sticking through.
Okay, yeah, I see the hair missing there. Okay. She was obviously so concerned about this one that she called you to tell you about it.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Bianca Prieto says her jealous and controlling ex-husband stole a lock safe containing her handgun. She's suing for the value of the stolen handgun. Defendant Danny Caballero Jr. says he doesn't know because his ex-wife is delusional and there's no reason he'd steal her handgun.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Prieto versus Caballero.
Thank you, Juan. Bianca Prieto?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Danny Caballero?
Yes.
For $759 for the value of a handgun you say he stole from you.
Yes.
Okay, let's start from the beginning, ma'am. Tell me what's going on here.
We were married. We're divorced, currently divorced.
When did you get divorced?
In October 2014.
Okay, how long were you married?
Around 5 years, from 2009 to 2014.
So you were married when you were 19 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we were married, and we had a very not a very
tumultuous
stable
relationship?
Yeah, it wasn't too stable. You know, there was a lot of jealousy. You know, not a healthy relationship for a 19-year-old girl going to college. So it didn't work out. I filed for a divorce, and during the process, I bought a handgun.
Before you go into the case, let me get some background from you, Mr. Caballero. Give me some background on your relationship with the plaintiff.
Well, we met at work, and she told me she wasn't from Fresno, so I offered to give her a ride to work, and that's how we got to know each other. We started talking one day, and she said that she wasn't getting all her financial aid money. So I decided, I was like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we just get married? You take my last name, and you can get all your financial aid money sent straight to where you live.
So that's why you got married?
Well, I kind of fell in love, you know, after it. So.
You married her when she was 19. How old were you at the time?
I was 5 years older than her.
Okay. 24 years old.
24.
Okay.
You know, we did it for the wrong reasons. It was for, you know, so she can get her financial aid checks all straight to her.
What does you getting married have to do with her financial aid?
Because it gets sent straight to her instead of her parents.
Okay.
Because they can claim you all the way to like 25.
Okay. And so you thought by marrying her...
Yeah, she could just get all her straight money and she...
Is there not an easier way to get financial aid?
Yeah, you don't have to.
I mean, I was in college. I just...
Because your parents could
marrying
take the checks,
someone
you know.
it helps your financial aid get to you faster?
Yeah, you know, if she has my last name, there's nothing her parents could do about it, and it goes straight to her.
Okay, all right. So the two of you get married, and you're married for 5 years before you get divorced in 2014. When do you say this incident occurred with the gun?
I got the gun in 2013, and you know.
What kind of gun is it?
A Smith & Wesson 9mm.
Why did you get it?
Because for protection. Because I'm a small girl, and I was living at the time. I was living with nothing but other females. And I've just always wanted a handgun, and it just felt right.
So at the time, although the two of you weren't divorced, you weren't living together at the time?
No, we were already separated.
Okay, and you keep it where?
In a safe. With I had a lot of locks on it. I had a lock in between the, the clip. Where you pull it back, and then I had it in a box and in another box with an alarm over it.
Okay, so you had it in safety on the gun, and you had it in a lockbox. Where were you living at the time when you say the defendant allegedly stole it?
My own apartment where I currently live.
Okay, and he was not living with you, correct? No. What is the date you say he stole the gun from you?
May 15, 2015.
Tell me what happened. The two of you don't have children together, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
So why are you still in touch with him, and why is he at your place on May 15, 2015?
Because we started speaking again in January 2015. I seen him at his friend's shop. And I believe that he changed because I changed since, we were together at the time, the previous year. So, he said he got his license and he said he has a job. So me,
What kind of license?
His barber license or whatever. I took him to my apartment, and it's just, he didn't change. He's still the same person.
The two of you were getting romantically involved again?
Yeah.
Okay, the two of you start dating again in January 2015. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but somebody apparently did.
Coming up, the tale of two lovers gets even twistier.
I got away from him. I went in my car. I called the police again, so he took off.
You saw him running away?
Yeah, he ran away.
She started chasing me.
And later, did the groomer cut more than their precious Yorkie's hair?
When did you notice something was wrong?
A couple hours later when I looked at her, and on her blanket there was a bunch of blood. I picked her up immediately and looked to find out where the blood was coming from, and I noticed on her elbow that a big part of her skin was missing.
Okay.
Plaintiff Bianca Prieto says her ex-husband stole her handgun. She's suing for the value of her stolen handgun. Defendant Danny Caballero Jr. says he doesn't know because he didn't steal his ex-wife's handgun.
May 15, 2015, take me to that day and what happened?
I needed somebody to be there for me because I was taking medications, and he agreed to be there for me because the doctors told me that I needed somebody with me within the 24-hour range. Because I was nauseous, vomiting. During that time, management went to my apartment to clean my floor, and it had a really strong chemical smell, so that was making me feel more nauseous. He suggested that I go to the barbershop and, take a nap there because the medication was making me very sleepy. I told him to go into my apartment. He airs it out because it was really, really strong, the smell. And he's taking a long time, but I'm kind of, I'm out of it. I'm not really, focusing on him. And I just noticed that it's, past an hour, and I was like, okay, dude, it shouldn't take you that long to open the windows and turn the fans on. And we went to the barbershop. I fell asleep waiting for him.
When did you discover your gun was missing?
When I left the barbershop after taking that 2-3 hour nap.
You went back to your apartment?
Yeah, I drive back to my apartment.
Do you go and look for the gun? Where's the gun kept? You said it's in a safe.
A safe under my bed.
Under your bed.
See, I noticed it wasn't there, and right away.
What did you do?
I call him.
Did you take the gun?
I didn't take the gun.
Did you take the safe?
I never seen it.
Did you take the safe?
Yes, the safe. I didn't take it. I moved it with her.
You said yes.
I removed it with her in the office she was at, at the barbershop.
Why did you take the safe and move it to the barbershop where she was?
Because she needed an X-ray. It had her rent money, had everything in it, and that place was airing out. I didn't want her to get robbed.
So you took the safe and you took it to the barbershop. Was she sleeping?
Yes.
She was napping?
Yes.
Were you there when she woke up?
Yes.
Is the safe there?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it should have been. I didn't check on it.
Do you drive her back to the apartment?
No, she stormed out. She stormed out because I called her my girlfriend. She was like, I'm not your girlfriend.
And so do you say at that point, hey, you're leaving the safe with all your gun, money, and personal belongings?
I was like, wait, and she just took off.
So do you then go and look at the safe and say, hey, you left the safe?
I didn't check on it. I didn't even go in the room.
How large is this lock safe?
The box, it was like a book.
Looks like an encyclopedia.
Like a dummy book.
Okay, the two of you not have a conversation? Do you not tell her at some point, hey, I took the safe and put it in the barbershop?
Well, I'm not going to say all that and scare the people in the barbershop.
So
I was not
what
aware.
happened to the safe? If you knew she didn't take it with her because she ran out, what happened to it?
I grabbed my duffel bags, and that's where it originally was, in the duffel bag, and I went home.
Did you report this gun as lost or stolen?
Yes, because I knew he had the gun. He admitted later on. When I went to go confront him at his grandma's, and I kept asking him, where's my gun, where's my gun? And he got aggressive with me and pushed me up against the garage. Because he's like, oh, you can't be acting like that around my grandma. So I just got away from him. I went in my car. I called the police again, so he took off.
You saw him running away?
Yeah, he ran away.
She started chasing me.
What do you mean by he ran?
The last thing I wanted to do is give somebody
you just said you tried to give the gun back?
Yeah, I tried to give it back. I was trying to get her to calm down. That's the last thing I want to do is hand somebody an angry, but here you go.
Hold on a second.
And she's yelling at me. I'm like, here you go, go ahead and shoot me.
Mr. Caballero, I thought you didn't have the gun. You said you left it in the lockbox and you don't know what happened to the safe. You left. You said, oh, you forgot?
What
you forgot what you just said 5 minutes ago? Here we go. Let's get to the value of the gun, $675. Judgment for the plaintiff, $675. Mr. Caballero, you can't remember your lie you told 5 minutes ago, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I want to tell my ex, Danny, to not take what isn't his property, especially a firearm.
I took off running because she was getting crazy, and the last thing somebody wants to do is give somebody angry a gun, and so I guess I learned the hard way.
Plaintiffs Monique Boulay and Jamie Battersby say they took their Yorkie to the groomer and Chloe returned with severe injuries. They're suing for vet bills. Defendant Jim Gale says he doesn't know because Chloe's injuries didn't happen at his grooming salon. He's countersuing for defamation of character.
Monique Boulay?
Yes.
And Jamie Battersby?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Jim Gale?
Yes.
For $310 for vet bills, and you're countersuing, sir, for $350 for defamation of character?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I see you have, is this your pet, the dog in question?
Yes,
the case?
this is Chloe.
Okay, Chloe. All right. Why don't you tell me what happened?
I've had her since she was a puppy, but...
How old is she now?
She's 10 now. Okay. But my brother's had her for about the last few years because my boyfriend has a pit bull, so just to keep, for safety reasons. So he took her to get groomed for me.
So on the day in question, you took Chloe to the groomers?
Yes.
What were the services you were paying for?
To have her teeth cleaned and to just get a haircut and nails.
Okay, what happened when you got her back home?
When I got her home, she ran to her blanket and laid down, and she went to sleep.
When did you notice something was wrong?
A couple hours later, when I looked at her, and on her blanket there was a bunch of blood. I picked her up immediately and looked to find out where the blood was coming from, and I noticed on her elbow that a big part of her skin was missing.
Okay.
And the bone was sticking through.
What did you do when you noticed that?
I tried calling the groomer, and I called 4 or 5 times, never got an answer, and then I took him to the vet.
Okay, when were you first notified that there was a problem?
Well, he called me. He called him first, the vet, and called me on the way to the vet.
And how bad was the injury? What did the vet say?
That it was a clean cut straight through, and that it needed to have emergency stitches.
May I see your vet bills? And so at some point, do they get in contact with you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't receive the call. My aunt took it.
Okay, are you the owner of this dog grooming salon?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Has Chloe been to your salon before?
Maybe 3 times in the last 5 years.
Okay, so 3 times you've sent Chloe to be groomed, the same thing that you got done on this day, a haircut and teeth cleaned?
Yeah.
And have you ever had any problems before?
No.
So they call you and tell you that Chloe has this cut after she just left from getting a haircut. What happens?
He called me and asked to take the dog to the vet. I said, when you take the dog to the vet, show me the vet bill, show me the report, let me see it. I says, I'll look it over, take a day, and I says, I will get back with you and let you know what I'm going to do on this.
And did that happen?
He wanted me to take the bill and put it under his door. And there was no way that the bill was
They're
going
not open on Mondays.
There's no way you could get the bill under the door.
Okay.
So I called him and told him that there was no way that we could get the bill under the door. And then he said, well, I'll be in on...
A Tuesday, I believe.
He said that they'll be there all day. So we went to take the bill to him, and he wasn't there. And then his groomers called to tell him that we were there, and he said that it'd have to happen another day.
So you never got the bill to him?
No.
Coming up, the judge takes a closer look at little Chloe.
Okay, yeah, I see the hair missing there.
Plaintiffs Jamie Battersby and Monique Boulay say Chloe was injured at Jim's grooming salon. They are suing for vet bills. Defendant Jim Gale says he doesn't know because the injuries didn't happen at his salon.
Who did the grooming on the dog?
My wife. She's employed by me.
Okay, is she here today?
No, I've got a certified statement from her.
What does she say happened?
What happened is the dog came in to get his bath, whatever she has done, get his bath. After he gets his bath, she does what they call a finish cut. She called me and she told me, she said, I might have nicked the dog. I might have.
Oh, so she told you that she thought she
might
cut the
have
dog.
nicked a dog. Nick, not cut.
Okay.
She nicked the dog.
She nicked
What's
the dog.
the difference?
The dog and cut the dog.
What's the difference?
Nick is just a scrape, a cut. Is if a dog is cut where a bone comes through, you don't wait 2 days to take her to a groomer. The man's statement to me was, when I spoke to him on the phone, I said, can you get the dog to the vet today? No, I have something I have to do with my son at school.
Sir, what date did the dog, show me the grooming papers. What date did he go to the groomer?
The 4th.
Okay, because the vet bills are from the 4th. So what date?
We took her to the vet
Just give me the date.
It was not 2 days later.
On 6th floor, the dog went to the groomer.
Okay, so the dog went to the groomer on the same day as it went to the vet.
When I spoke to this gentleman, he told me he had something to do with his son at school. He could not get out of it. He had to take the dog the next day. Okay, I says, so what's more important, your son or the dog?
Okay, we're beyond this. The dog went to the vet the same
Right.
day that he left the groomer's facility. You're not giving me a reason. You're not giving me a reason as to why you haven't paid this bill.
My reason I haven't paid the bill, I haven't heard it up until last Tuesday. Nobody had notified me up until last Tuesday.
What do you have to say about that?
I sent him a certified letter that was sent to him twice. He never picked it up. I even have the letter here, and I have from the post office.
You didn't pick up the letter?
I never was served a letter, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she sent certified letters.
I never got the
Does the
letter.
dog still have a visible injury?
Her hair's grown back a little bit, but yeah, you can see it.
Okay, may I see it, please? Juan, do you want to help me?
It's right back there on this arm.
So cute. Okay, yeah, I see here on the arm. Wow. Okay, yeah, I see the hair missing there. Okay.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
What's your counterclaim about, sir? You're suing for defamation of character?
I'm suing for defamation of character, ma'am. She has gone on Facebook several times, running the business down, telling people I would never, ever send my dog to this groomer. My wife is very highly rated. She's got 4 and 5 stars, what they go through.
She nicked the dog. She nicked the dog, in your words. I mean, it doesn't mean that she's a bad groomer, and I'm sure these things happen sometimes, but it's how you handle it. You're talking about how they've handled it. This is an ongoing repeat customer that you've had.
I don't look at it as an ongoing repeat customer.
They've been there 3 times. They've been there 3 times.
3 times in 5 years.
And you
they've
don't
been
think
with
it's
her
worth paying $310 just to satisfy these customers and move on? I mean, you're suing for defamation of character because they're clearly unhappy. They write complaints on a review site for your company. And I don't understand why you would let it get to this point as a business owner just to make an executive decision. Let's just get rid of this case and this issue and move on about our day.
If I would have been properly notified and would have been known about the
I don't know how you can be more properly notified than the United States Post Office, sir. They have proof that they sent you certified letters. I mean, I get vet bills in here for thousands of dollars. This is a $310 bill that they submit to you after your wife told you. She was so concerned because when you groom dogs, things happen sometimes. But she was obviously so concerned about this one that she called you to tell you about it. And that tells me she really was concerned about what happened. And another thing that bothers me is she called you to tell you about it, but she didn't tell him and she didn't tell her when they came to pick up the dog. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $310.
I feel Judge Faith's ruling was fair. A person like that should have known a groomer's business.
And he told me that I would never win.
Guess he was wrong.
This affected my business. I have lost several amounts of clients. I've lost several amounts of dollars. This has hurt me very deeply.
Former friends battle over an unpaid loan to help keep an Atlanta restaurant open for business.
Clarence will have my chef make him specialty things because they kind of like knew what was going on, that he had loaned me some money.
I have cleaned tables, I have washed dishes, I have helped them serve, I have dumped trash, I have swept floors. I've done a lot of things because he was my friend and I wanted to see him succeed.
Since 2013, you're telling me he has showed up at Mojo's Motown Eatery and eaten for free.
And later, a Missouri pet owner with an expensive vet bill demands payment from the dog rescue that sold her a teacup chihuahua that suddenly got sick.
I don't understand how she can give me a health guarantee when the dog has no vaccinations.
I have a text where she said he was happy and he was healthy because I always check on my dog.
You paid $600 for the dog. Turbo got sick 2 days after.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Clarence Wells Jr. says he loaned his former friend money to help pay rent and buy supplies. He's suing for loans and fees. Defendant Mario Johnson says he doesn't owe because Clarence ate and drank for free at his restaurant, so that makes them even.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Wells Jr. versus Johnson.
Thank you, Juan. Clarence Wells Jr.,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant, Mario Johnson,
Yes, I'm here.
for $6,500 you say he owes you for 2 loans in addition to late fees and late repayment fees.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do the two of you know each other, sir?
Well, probably about 2012 to 2013, Mario moved to Atlanta. Mario's older brother and myself are very good friends. And so as a result of Mario moving, I met Mario through his brother.
Where were you moving from?
I was moving from Detroit.
From Detroit to Atlanta?
Yes, Detroit.
And was it for the purposes of opening this business that you opened?
Yes, it was.
Tell me about your restaurant.
Oh, my name is Mario Johnson. So the name of my restaurant is Mojo's Motown Eatery. It's an acronym of my name, Mojo. So
I got that part.
Okay, you got that part. Some people don't, you know.
Okay.
So I started the restaurant in 2008 back home in Detroit. So I did it there for 3 years, and then when I moved to Atlanta in 2012, I opened up one here in 2013.
And that's Mojo's Motown Eatery?
Yes, it is.
What kind of food do you serve at this restaurant?
We specialize in stuffed cheeseburgers. It's a stuffed cheeseburger with mushrooms, bacon, and cheese cooked on the inside of the burger.
Okay.
And then also we have the biggest extra large potato in Atlanta.
And where is this located exactly?
It's located on...
I'm just curious. I'm asking for Juan wants to know.
It's located on MLK and on the college campus by Morehouse, Clark, and Spelman.
Great location.
Yes, great location.
Okay, let me see the photos.
That's the outside of the restaurant.
Okay.
Inside.
That's the burger.
Yes, that's the...
Is that light bread? You don't use a bun?
No, just to be a little different, I use Texas toast.
So you named the restaurant, the Motown Eatery part of the restaurant was because you're from Detroit?
Yes. We used to play Motown music there, but because of the location, it's a college area, they don't really care for that old school music, so...
So now y'all playing Jay-Z and Drake?
Yes. So, yeah, we do. Each one of the burgers some names are Motown, are named after the burgers. Like I have a B. Gordy bacon cheeseburger, which is named after Berry Gordy. I have a Temptation turkey burger. I have a Marvin Gaye burger, which is an M. Gaye burger, because Viola Gay, Marvin Gaye's sister, had came into the restaurant. And when she came in there, I didn't have anything on the menu with Marvin Gaye name on it.
And you call yourself a Motown?
I know, that's what she said too. After she told me which was his favorite food, which was chili. And so that's how I created that burger with the chili.
Do you work in the restaurant every day?
Yes.
It's hard. People think opening a restaurant is easy, but it's really not.
It really is.
It's one of the fastest ways to lose money if you don't know what you're doing.
Actually, right now, 3 restaurants on my block have closed down, so.
3?
Yeah, I'm trying
But
to...
you're still hanging in there?
I'm hanging in there.
Mojo's Motown Eatery is still there?
Mojo's Motown Eatery is still there.
So you say he approached you. Tell me about the conversation the two of you had about this money.
So Mario had began to talk with me about the possibility of going into partnership with him. And so I agreed to loan him the money.
Okay, did the two of you put that in writing?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
May I see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I understand you loaned him $2,000 initially, and then there was another $2,000 loan after that one?
Yes, ma'am, correct. And I have both documents here for
Let me see those. So 2 years went by. You had not been paid anything for the first loan?
Correct, yes, Your Honor.
And you loaned another $2,000?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why?
Coming up, the former friends disagree about the loan repayment.
When Mr. Johnson approached me about the second loan, I flat out refused it.
I said, I know I owe you a couple of more $100.
So I'm asking you, how much do you say you paid him?
And later, a teacup chihuahua suddenly gets sick, and now his owner wants the expensive vet bill paid.
Turbo seemed fine.
She presented me with a healthy dog.
You know that the dog was sick.
Plaintiff Clarence Wells Jr. says Mario is taking advantage of his kindness. He's suing for loans and fees. Defendant Mario Johnson says he doesn't owe because Clarence was paid back in free food and drink.
So you're saying he didn't pay anything on the first loan, nothing at all?
No, ma'am, he hasn't.
Do you say you did?
Initially, Clarence did help me out when I was on hard times, and I came and I asked him for the money. So how I came
So I'm asking you, how much do you say you paid him?
Okay, I paid him, $2,000, almost like $2,000.
On the first loan?
Yes.
Okay,
so when I went back to him...
And you have no proof of that?
I don't have any proof of it because of financial situations. I lost some things, and I don't have any proof of it right now.
So you had proof, but you lost it?
Okay, so I gave Clarence money here.
No, what happened? Why don't you have your proof?
Because
you moved locations.
Yes, I ended up getting... It wasn't evicted, but another restaurant came in, so that kind of like got bought out. So.
Wait, you said you got shot?
Yes, I did. The first week that I had opened up the restaurant, I was set up. Somebody followed me home, and I got shot. They shot me 3 times, aimed at me in the stomach. Well, they shot at me, and 3 bullets caught me in the stomach.
How long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital about a month.
Who found you?
Actually, my son. He came back. Yeah.
So
it was
horrible.
the way it was set up, and they knew my game plan for when I went home.
Did you move locations after that?
Yes,
after
that's
you were
what
shot?
I'm getting up to.
Okay, so you changed locations a 3rd time, which is where you are now.
Yes, it's the 3rd time.
And you changed locations because you thought your safety.
Yeah, because I just didn't feel safe there anymore.
At issue.
So, yeah.
Because of what happened.
Yes.
I don't blame you.
So then that's where the second loan came in, because I went to Clarence and I was like, hey, Clarence, I got this other building. I need $2,000 more. I said, I know I owe you a couple of more $100.
Do you have any of this in writing?
I don't have it in writing.
You're saying that conversation never happened?
No.
Because you know why that makes sense to me? Because it really doesn't make sense why you would loan someone $2,000 if they already owed you $2,000.
When Mr. Johnson approached me about the second loan, I flat out refused it. I told him no because he hadn't paid me any of my money from the first loan.
You say you paid this money back in other ways, too. Tell me about that.
He came to the restaurant. He was eating, drinking every day, every other day, or when he always come through. Clarence always, ever since I've had every restaurant I've had, Clarence have never
So
paid.
Since 2013, you're telling me he has showed up at Mojo's Motown Eatery
Yes.
and eaten for free?
Yes.
How many burgers do you say he's consumed over the past 2 years, sir?
A lot. $2,000.
$2,000 worth?
$2,000 worth.
That's so ludicrous. That is so ludicrous.
Was he eating turkey burgers or regular burgers?
It depended on how he was feeling. Some days he would come in and he felt like he wanted to lose weight, so he would eat the turkey burger. Clarence will have my chef make him specialty things, because they kind of like knew what was going on, that he had loaned me some money and everything like that. So they kind of like treated him with special privileges too when he came in. So that's why they know.
So you would walk in, but you never paid for anything, right? You never paid
That's
for
not
food?
correct, Your Honor. I have paid for food at Mario's restaurant. I have also, Your Honor, walked into Mario's restaurant when it has been slammed. I have cleaned tables. I have washed dishes. I have helped him serve. I have dumped trash. I have swept floors. I've done a lot of things because he was my friend, and I wanted to see him succeed.
Yes.
But it got to the point to where he not paying me, I wanted my money back.
I believe you owe for the second loan. You said that you didn't pay it back, but he ate like a king in your restaurant.
Yes.
But you're not able to tell me how many burgers he ate, and I'm not going to guess how many.
I said,
okay,
it should be an even swap.
Right. I don't find that to be accurate.
Yes.
That you think he ate the exact amount of the loan. The first loan, I'm not convinced that he paid you nothing for this loan, because Mr. Johnson has come in here. He said, I didn't pay him anything on the second loan. It didn't happen. I do not think he would come in and perjure himself and say that he paid you money without ever paying you a dime. So I'm going to credit his testimony on that. And because of the circumstantial evidence in the case, the fact that you loaned him money the second time, and that there's no mention of this second loan in this contract. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to order you, sir, to pay the full amount of the second loan, in addition to $500 for the first loan, in addition to 6% interest on both.
Do I get any of my money back for the food he ate?
So that is a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor in the amount of $2,650, judgment for the plaintiff. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
There's no way possible that I could have eaten $2,000 worth of burgers. I probably have had the burgers twice since I've been there. I usually always get the potatoes.
I think the judge ruling was very accurate, and I'm glad she ruled the way she did. I think it was accurate. And I also would like for her to come to Atlanta and to visit my restaurant and try the M. Gay cheeseburger.
Plaintiff Nicole Amos says the defendant sold her a puppy with parvo, and now she wants the vet bill paid. She's suing for the cost of a puppy and vet bills. Defendant Pam Ledbetter says she doesn't owe because Turbo wasn't sick when he left her care, and her contract states vet bills won't be paid. She's accompanied in court today by her daughter, Sherry Muskell.
Nicole Amos?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant, Pam Ledbetter,
Yes, ma'am.
for $2,869, the cost of a puppy and over $2,000 in vet bills.
Yes,
you
Your
believe
Honor.
she owes you. So I understand this case involves, is it the puppy that you're holding
puppy
now?
here, yes.
Okay, what's the name of your dog?
His name's Turbo.
Turbo? Okay, tell me what's going on here, why you brought this lawsuit. Dog's adorable.
Around May 26th, I had lost a Chihuahua of 16 years, a year prior, so I decided it was time to get another puppy, and I started my search for the Chihuahua. I came across him, and I came across Miss Ledbetter.
Was it an ad that you saw online, or?
Yes, it was a ad on puppyfind.com.
Okay.
I contacted Miss Ledbetter through text message, and then I made a phone call to her.
Okay, and how much was she selling the puppy for?
$600.
May I see the ad that was on Puppy Finder? Sure. Now, are you going to hold Turbo the entire case? Or?
I can put him back.
Okay. Juan can hold Turbo if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Is he going to be okay? So this is the ad, $600, and so you did buy the dog?
I did.
Okay.
When I contacted her on the phone, she explained to me that she's a doctor, so that's kind of what eased me from buying the dog.
What do you mean she told you I'm a doctor?
She told me she was a doctor.
Okay, are you a doctor?
Doctor of psychology.
Are you a dog breeder?
No, I'm not. I take in animals to help people that need animals and also keep them out of the shelters. The shelters are full, but the little Chihuahua does not do well in a shelter.
How long have you been rehoming dogs?
Since 1990.
So a long time. You end up buying the dog. You paid $600 for the dog, and you said that Turbo got sick 2 days after.
I had brought him home. He started not eating and drinking. I tried to force feed him and force liquids down him. Sunday, he started vomiting, and he threw up a worm.
Okay.
And this wasn't like a little bitty worm. This was a worm like this size, curled up, and very much alive. I mean, it was the size of him. She had told me that she wormed him twice.
So what happened when you took him to the vet? What did the vet say?
Coming up on Judge Faith, the health guarantee is disputed.
Well, the health guarantee usually states that they'll replace the dog with one of equal value.
But this is not a case where it's an issue of dog replacement because the dog lived.
Plaintiff Nicole Amos says Pam sold her a puppy with parvo. She's suing for the cost of a puppy and vet bills. Defendant Pam Ledbetter says she doesn't owe because her contract states vet bills won't be paid.
I took him into the ER, which is more expensive than a vet.
What happened?
She told me that she wanted to test him for parvo.
And did he test positive for parvo?
He tested positive for parvo.
How much did you spend on vet bills?
$2,200, somewhere around there.
Did the two of you enter into a written agreement about Turbo?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it? So you sold Turbo at 8 weeks?
Yeah, Turbo seemed fine.
Did he have any shots or anything prior to that?
He's not allowed to have him until he's 12 weeks because he's a Chihuahua.
Okay, so no shots.
No shots.
But you said in your ad that the health of the dog was guaranteed, health guarantee.
Right, that I would replace the dog, yes.
Had the dog exhibited any signs of being sick
healthy.
prior to you selling
I
him?
have a text where she said he was happy and he was healthy because I always check on my dogs.
Do you have anything from a vet that states that this dog was sick 2 days prior?
I do.
Okay. Well, here's the most important part, I think, of her diagnosis here. She states in this letter to the court that, in reference to parvo, the onset of clinical signs for this virus is 6 to 10 days after exposure. Therefore, in her professional opinion, Turbo had already contracted the virus at the time he was adopted. But here you have a contract, because the law, and I know people love their pets and they treat them like their children, but under the law, dogs are viewed as property. And you have a contract here, and the first line of the contract states that you signed, I'm not responsible for any vet bills. Now, why did you sign that?
Well, she presented me with a healthy dog. On that piece of paper I gave you in her ad, it says a health guarantee. I don't understand how she can give me a health guarantee when the dog has no vaccinations. And my vet tells me that the parvo was already in him when I bought him.
Who are you, ma'am?
I'm Cherry Moskal. I'm the defendant's daughter.
Okay, why don't you step up? Tell me what you have to add to this case. What do you have to say about the professional opinion of this doctor that Turbo had contracted parvo before he was sold?
Well, the health guarantee usually states that they'll replace the dog with one of equal or of value.
But this is not a case where it's an issue of dog replacement because the dog lived. You know that the dog was sick. There was a health guarantee made, and although you say you're not responsible for vet bills, you presented a presumably healthy dog that turned out not to be healthy.
Well, if you look further down, I mean, the dogs can contract it anywhere at any time and get sick at any time.
Right, but the issue is you can't sell a dog that has parvo that could die a few days later.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to order you to give her the $600 back that she paid for the dog. I do not think that you intentionally and knowingly sold a sick dog.
Thank you.
But the fact is, the dog was sick.
That's right.
And I have a letter from a medical professional stating that they believe the dog was sick at the time that she purchased the dog. I know that there's an argument on the opposite end of that spectrum, that in 2 days that she had the dog could have contracted parvo, the dog didn't have vaccinations, and you don't know where the dog was, who else the dog was around, or if the dog was around any other animal. So I understand that side of the argument as well. That's why I'm making the judgment that I am in the plaintiff's favor for a total of $1,500. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think her verdict was fair. I just wanted Dr. Pam to be held accountable for something. She did sell me a sick dog.
I don't feel like that I intentionally sold a sick puppy. I don't do things like that.
Buddies at a senior living facility get caught up in a passionate debate over money given to glorify God.
I gave you the money as a loan, not as a gift.
Let me read the scripture to you, because this is what it all boils down to.
Are we in church or we in court today?
He said he gonna give him all the money because the Lord told him to plant a seed. I said, oh, thank you, Lord.
I trusted him. He's an elder, called himself a prophet around the building.
I have 2 tithing members of the church standing in front of me, including an elder, and somebody's committing perjury. The devil is a lie.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Louis Pettyway says he loaned the defendant money for car repairs, with the agreement that he'd be paid back. He's suing for a loan and stolen church tithes. Defendant Pennington Ware says Lewis gave him the money as a gift and a blessing, but now is spreading rumors around the church that he defaulted on a loan. He's countersuing for perjury and slander. He's accompanied in court today by his wife, Lily Mae Ware.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Pettyway versus Ware.
Thank you, Juan. Louis Pettyway.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Pennington Ware.
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,100 $103 for a loan and stolen church tithes.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are countersuing, sir, for $2,000 for perjury and slander.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have a witness with you today,
Yes,
your
Your Honor.
wife,
Yes,
Lily
Your Honor.
Mae Ware.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Good. Mr. Pettaway, we'll start with you. Give me some background. How do you know Mr. Ware?
We're neighbors in the same building, senior citizen building.
Okay.
And we're veterans. He's a war veteran and I'm a veteran.
Thank you for your service, both of you.
You're welcome. Yes, Your Honor. About 6 or 7 months we've known each other in the same building, and we would be going to the Veterans Administration together on appointments. And you kind of got used to him as a friend.
But you're suing for stolen church tithes as well. Do the two of you attend the same church?
No, I don't attend his church. I have health issues, and I wanted to pay tithes.
Oh, okay, I understand. But you, sir,
Yes.
attend the church in question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, are you an elder at the church? What's your position at the church?
I'm an elder.
Okay. What denomination?
Apostolic.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about the friendship you've had with the plaintiff.
Well, how I met him, I was coming into the building, and he was standing out in front. And he said, my name is Lewis. I said, well, my name is Pennington, but you can call me Penn. He said, well, I got a doctor's appointment 2 days from now. So 2 days later, I took him to the doctor. And on the way to the doctor, he was telling me about himself. I said, well, what church you go to? He said, well, I was going to this church, but they didn't like me there. They didn't want me to do anything. They made me sit in the back. And so that made me start wondering, what is wrong with him for the church don't want to be bothered with you. You know what I'm saying? And so,
You don't think maybe there was something wrong with people at that church?
well, this is where he does. It's everybody is someone with everybody else but him.
So you said that the people at the other church, he said they didn't like him. Right. And that raised a red flag with you?
Yeah, because I'm wondering what type of person are you for a church don't want you to do nothing in there? See what I'm saying?
We have a little bit of a miscommunication going on. Because you're telling him these stories and he's picking up these red flags, but you're saying that he's just misinterpreting some things.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, let's get to the case.
Yes,
because that's what we're here about, right?
Yes, we're going to talk about the car repair.
Because now you say that you loaned
Yes, Your Honor.
the defendant some money
Yes, Your Honor.
after only knowing him for about 3 weeks?
No, this was over a period of months.
So do you work right now? Or are you retired?
No, Your Honor.
You're
I'm retired, yes.
And about how much on average a month do you bring home?
About $2,500.
And how much is your rent?
$705.
$700. And do you have a car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you pay for that car or is it paid for?
It's leased.
It's leased. And how much is your lease?
I pay $285 a month, Your Honor.
Okay, so far, just with those two things, we're close to $1,000 a month and your income is around $2,500,
Yes,
right?
Your Honor. Yes,
okay,
Your Honor.
Tell me about the conversation you say you had with the defendant, how it came up.
Yes, as we were riding and got close to each other, going to the VA back and forth, the car repair came up. He needed some money to get his car fixed. So I said, get an estimate from the dealer. The estimate from the dealer was like close to $1,700. So I said, maybe I can get a loan to help you out. I went down to the bank. He was with me. And I got the $1,600 and some dollars. And I paid it cash in the car. And he said, I'm going to pay you back in April. I said, that's the right thing to do.
And what happened when April came around?
Coming up, the money situation between the men gets a little more complicated.
So he said, well, call the dealer and tell him to get it because the Lord told me to give you the money.
His exact words to you were, the Lord told
him to give
you the money. Did you tell him that the Lord told you to give him that money?
Plaintiff Lewis Pettaway says Pennington knows the money to fix the car was a loan, and the other checks were meant for the church. He's suing for a loan and stolen church tithes. Defendant Pennington Ware says he doesn't know because Lewis gave him the money as a gift to do the Lord's work. He's countersuing for perjury and slander.
What do you say the conversation was? Tell me exactly how you approached him about it.
He said, Penn, I see your car out there and the tow truck brought your car home last night. So what's wrong with it? I say, well, I'm going to have to take it to the shop. And so he said, well, how much you going to cost? I said, I don't know. I said, I got about $600. So he said, well, call the dealer and tell him to get it because the Lord told me to give you the money.
His exact words to you were, the Lord told
The Lord told him to give
you the money. And at that point, you didn't know how much it was going to cost?
No, so I put it in the shop. And so when I put it in the shop, the dealer told me that The car was going to, for the transmission was going to be like $1,100 and something, and they said that I needed front brake pads.
How much was it going to cost total?
$1,722.
Okay, so you went to him.
I didn't go to him. He called me.
Okay, so when do you get the money? Tell me about that conversation.
Okay, so what it was when I called the dealer, he told me how much it's going to be. I say, Lewis, the dealer told me it's going to be $1,700. I say, but I got almost $600 and something dollars. I say, my daughter was going to bring me $400 over here. He said, no, the Lord told me to give you all of the money. I said, give me all of it? He said, yeah. He said, I'm sowing a seed. He said, God is going to bless me with a harvest. I said, Lewis, you going to give me all that amount of money? Yeah, because God told me to.
So how much did he give you?
He gave me $1,722.
Okay, did you tell him that the Lord told you to give him that money?
No.
That never
Your
happened?
Honor. No.
You never talked about sowing a seed in his life?
Yeah, you'll be blessed if you sow a seed. You'll be blessed if you sow a seed.
Well, I'm talking about this $1,600 that you say you got out of your bank, this $1,600.
That was a loan, Your Honor.
When he's testifying that you were sowing a seed, it was a gift to him. You're saying that is absolutely not true. You never had that conversation.
It's not a gift. It was a loan. It was always been a loan. It never was like I gave you the money. I gave you the money as a loan, not as a gift.
Were you a witness to any of these conversations?
Yeah.
What did you hear?
He called my husband, and my husband told him that my daughter had part of the money, okay? My husband said, he told him, said the Lord told him that they planted a seed, and he will have a harvest. And he said, call your daughter and tell her she don't have to bring the money. I said, what?
And so you called your daughter right then and there and said, don't worry about bringing the money?
Yeah. And he said, I said, what? He said he gonna give him all the money, and my daughter don't have to bring it, because the Lord told him to plant a seed. I said, oh, thank you, Lord. That was a good blessing. You know what I mean, Your Honor? So I called my daughter and I told her, I relayed the message to her, and she said, what? I said, yeah. He said the Lord told him to give him the money. And my husband said, when he told him the 600, he said, oh no. I don't want her to bring anything. I'll pay the whole balance.
Because the Lord said so. And I need to start praying some more, because apparently I'm not saying the right prayers.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did a visit made to the bishop reveal the truth about the tithes?
I wanted to talk to the bishop.
You wouldn't talk to the bishop?
He got Mr. Ware on the speakerphone.
So I told the bishop, I say, well, if that's what he want to do, I'll just pay him back.
He kept saying he's going to pay me in April.
Did you say that to the bishop? Did you say that to the bishop? Because you do not want me to get off this bench and call your bishop right now.
Plaintiff Louis Pettyway says Pennington stole the tithing money. He's suing for a loan and stolen church tithes. Defendant Pennington Ware says he doesn't know because Louis told him the money was for sowing seeds.
You're also suing because you say the defendant stole the tithes that you were paying to the church. Tell me about that.
Well, I hadn't gone to church because of my health issues.
Okay.
So I trusted him. He's an elder, calls himself a prophet around the building. So I wanted to pay some tithes. I asked him, would you take my tithes?
In the form of a check and
right.
pay it at church?
Right, check payable to him.
If you're paying this money to the church, why would you make a check out to the defendant? You've been paying tithes your entire life?
Yes.
For a long time? And so you know when you pay...
You pay to the church.
And that is, you're paying 10% of your income to church.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're giving 10% of your income to church and you call it a tithe. If you're writing out a check to Pennington Ware, how is the church supposed to deposit that check? If the check is made out to Pennington Ware, you've been writing checks for a long time too, right? So how is that even possible?
Well, he cashed a check in his name, of course.
You say what, sir, about those checks?
He told me that he had sold seeds for me to get the car fixed. And so he called me a couple of days later. He said, Penn, I'm going to sow some more seeds with you. I said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah, because I want to get a great harvest from God. I'm going to get one for the money I gave you for the car, so I'm going to get some from this. I said,
so you're a prophet. You knew you were going to get this money?
No, God used me sometimes.
At what point do you say to this man who is obviously on a limited income, maybe you need to stop giving me so much money, sir?
Your Honor, let me read the scripture to you, because this is what it all boils down to.
Are we in church or are we in court today?
And so the scripture says that when you sow a seed, you get a harvest from it. That's why I wanted to read it to you so you understand.
We're not here because there's a dispute over the Bible.
Okay.
We're here because there's a dispute over whether this money was a gift or a loan.
Amen. Amen. Now, 3 weeks later, he tell me, you cashed the checks. I said, yeah, you gave them to me. I had one check left.
He told me to write his
May
name.
I see the checks?
Huh?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he tell you he wanted these checks to be deposited in the church or with you?
No, he gave them to me to sow a seed.
In your life?
And see, because I'm a president of the outreach, and so when we go around to the hospitals and the nursing homes, you know, it takes gas and stuff to go around there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
He has this discussion with you?
Yeah, I told him, I said, you know, you're going to get a seed, or you're going to get a blessing because of the seed that you sowed. And so he said, okay. But here's the thing, Your Honor, where the problem come in at, he got mad because I didn't want him to come to my apartment, but not me, my wife didn't. He wanted to come down to our apartment, and my wife said, no, I don't want him in here. So I said, okay, because he had told me he wanted me to be his mentor.
Okay.
I said, well, Louis, there's a day room downstairs, and I said, I can take you downstairs, and we can study the Bible down there, I can teach you. Well, okay, I'll let you know. So then, a few days later, he calling me, talking about, well, I got a high blood pressure monitor. Could your wife read it for me? I said, well, no. I asked her, I said, you want to read that for me? She said, no. Because she didn't want to be bothered with him. And so he always was trying to come to my apartment for some reason, and I didn't want to disrespect my wife and bring him in there, and she didn't want him there.
So God's telling him to give you all this money.
Right.
But he's telling you he can't come over to the apartment.
I didn't say he couldn't come. I said we can go downstairs.
Ma'am, would you stand up for a second, please, Miss Lily Mae?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why didn't you want him over in the apartment?
Because at times I don't feel good. And sometimes when you start neighbors coming in, they don't know when to stop. And I'm not trying to be antisocial or anything like that, Your Honor. But I have things to do, and there are times when I like my privacy, and that's most of the time.
Okay, so you have boundaries. You have boundaries.
Yes.
So no particular reason, you just didn't want to start that.
Because when you start neighbors knocking on the door, they don't know when to quit.
Okay,
And
thank you.
Don't start nothing you ain't gonna keep up.
Okay, I understand. Here's what I don't understand, sir. Here's what I don't understand, because I have these checks that you wrote to the defendant. All of these checks are to Pennington Ware, and this is really important because all of these checks are to the defendant. They're not to the church. And then in the subject line, sow a seed. So how can you write these checks out to this individual and then come into court and say this money wasn't meant for him, it was meant for the church? I can't accept that. This is what you wrote. Why are you saying now that this was supposed to be your tithe to the church when you know that's not the case?
My tax preparer asked me to go get a copy of my tithes at that church, so for tax purposes. And I went there, but they didn't have a record of it, of course. And then I wanted to talk to the bishop that was in charge of the church about...
You wouldn't talk to the bishop?
Yes, ma'am. And I told him about the car repair and the tithes.
Okay.
And he got Mr. Ware on the speakerphone. I was sitting in the office with the bishop.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
He called you on speakerphone?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he kept saying he's going to pay me in April because the bishop...
He said that? The bishop called you on the phone and you said you were going to pay for all these things in April?
No, he asked me, did he give me a check? I said, yeah, he gave me 4 checks, but I gave him 1 back because he said that he wanted to give to the church. So I said, Louis, I still got one for $40. I said, you want to rewrite it and give it to the church? No, I don't want to give it to the church. I said, what you want me to do with it? Tear it up. So I told her, check up.
When you were sitting in the bishop's office,
yes, Your Honor,
and you called the defendant on the phone, on speakerphone,
yes, Your Honor,
did he say in front of the bishop that he was going to pay back the money for the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
That he planned to pay back the money for the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you say that to the bishop? Did you say that to the bishop? Because you do not want me to get off this bench and call your bishop right now.
The money for the 3 checks that I got. Because he was saying that he wanted to give them to the church. So I told the bishop, I say, well, if that's what he want to do, I'll just pay him back.
I have 2 tithing members of the church standing in front of me, including an elder, and somebody's committing perjury. The devil is a lie. You have a $2,000 counterclaim for perjury and slander. What is that about?
He said he went to the court in Michigan and said he gave me $2,100. He never gave me $2,100.
Okay, that's not slander. Do you have anything else?
And perjury, he perjured when he said that he loaned me the money. And I told him, I said, look, I texted him, I said, Lewis, if you go to court, I can prove that you gave me the money.
You're not proving your perjury or your slander case yet.
First of all, Your Honor, a gift and a loan is two separate things.
I'm well aware.
Yeah.
My question to you is, Elder Ware, you know that the plaintiff is on a limited income. You know he doesn't have a lot of money. You know this. You know he's not physically able to get around enough to go to church. Why would you accept this kind of money from him knowing he doesn't have a lot of money?
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Here's what we're going to do. The money that was written out to you directly, the checks, you keep that because that money was to you.
Yeah.
And to say otherwise, I don't find that to be the case. My concern is, here's the plaintiff with his limited income of only $2,500 a month. Would he go through the trouble of going to the bank, going to his line of credit, getting that money off of his line of credit, paying interest every month on that line of credit to sow this seed, as you say, on your behalf? It's one thing, you know, it's $50, it's $35, it's $40, it's $30, but it's another thing when you're talking about $1,600, which is a significant source of his income. Would he do all of that and say he was going to sow a seed and then go to the bishop and then file a court claim and then do all of this because absolutely it was clear that he was sowing a seed? Or was there some kind of miscommunication between the two of you? You got your car fixed, you got your car repaired, you paid the money. In the interest of justice in this case, I'm going to order you to pay for the car repairs and order you to give that money back to the plaintiff. Judgment for the plaintiff, your counterclaim is dismissed.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
New Jerseyans with two very different stories about how they met battle over money exchange during their complicated situationship.
We met through mutual friends.
It wasn't through mutual friends. It was from a dating site. And
Now, you know what? We can't do this. You know I'm married.
What happens when you decide to bring a lawsuit against a mistress?
And later, former co-workers disagree on the details of their arrangement for a hotel suite hookup in Vegas.
Anything I needed, rooms, buffet or whatever, I would get it comped.
He forwarded me an email showing a confirmation number, but it wasn't for a 3-bedroom villa. It was for more like a 1-bedroom.
When this is a case with a clear paper trail, where's the paper?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Alfred Santiago says the defendant defaulted on the loan he gave her for a down payment on a car. He's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Mary Henriquez says she doesn't know because Alfred forgave the loan as a Valentine's Day gift and then stopped talking to her.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Santiago versus Henriquez.
Thank you, Juan. Alfred Santiago.
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Mary Henriquez?
Yes.
For $2,000 you say she owes you for an unpaid loan.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning, sir? How do you know Miss Henriquez?
We met through mutual friends.
Okay. When was that? How long ago?
October.
October of this past year?
2015.
Okay. So not even a year?
No.
Okay. And tell me about your friendship with her.
We should still have a friendship. We have no problems with each other. There's no animosity between us.
Besides this
Besides
money?
just the dispute that we have now.
Okay.
We became friends. We talked. We spent time together. We went out. We had each other's kids with each other, hang out with each other.
Okay.
That sort. She had a vehicle that she had some problems with from the very beginning, I noticed. December of 2015 it became worse. And I felt bad.
So how did you end up loaning or giving her $2,000?
That's what I was going to say. When she started going to the dealership. She found one dealership that was going to help her out. They helped her out something between maybe $3,000, $3,500 for the car that she had now. So I offered to give her another $2,000 to get the car so that she can get to work at that distance.
Okay,
from when
and
she was traveling.
that's
So
a
she had
pretty
a new
generous
car.
offer. Did you have any romantic interest in her at all?
No, we were friends.
Okay, so you were just going to loan her this money, your friend who you hadn't known for that long.
Right.
$2,000.
Right.
Okay, so you weren't doing it. I'm just asking because oftentimes there's a hidden agenda involved.
We were friends, and we were friends.
What do you have to say, ma'am?
Well, we did meet in October. It wasn't through mutual friends. It was from a dating site.
Oh,
and,
okay. What dating site?
It was Plenty of Fish, actually. And
you heard of Plenty of Fish?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Sir?
Yes.
You've heard of, were you on Plenty of Fish?
Yes, I was for a short time.
Is that how the two of you met?
No, we met through friends.
Go ahead, ma'am.
If Plenty of Fish is friends, then I guess let's call it a friend, but that wasn't the case. And
now, you know what? We can't do this. You know I'm married.
You brought this lawsuit? Why are you talking to her? You brought her here today. Mr. Santiago.
Yeah.
You brought this lawsuit? You do understand you're suing her. She wouldn't be here unless you brought her here today.
Yeah, I did.
And I have not heard from him at all.
So, and her defense is that you gave her this money because why? Because you were his what?
We were dating at the time.
Okay. That's a pretty legitimate defense. You think she's going to come in and lie?
And I have not heard from him until...
We were not dating. We had no romantic anything at all.
You married, but you're on Plenty of Fish, and you're going to tell me you had no romantic relationship with her. What are you on Plenty of Fish doing for? Looking for fish?
We went on there from the first day we met. It was a friendship from there on.
Sir, you're married, but you're on Plenty of Fish. Why? Because you want to meet women.
Yeah, but it was a friendship from there on.
So you want to meet friends on Plenty of Fish. That's why you're on Plenty of Fish?
I'm not on it. And we met and we became friends, and that's all it was.
Never dated, never a romantic relationship.
We hung out, and we didn't have any romantic intercourse with each other. We hung out, and that's how all it was. It went from that very first day as friends.
Okay. And does your wife know you're giving $2,000 to your friends that you meet on Plenty of Fish?
She does know I lent her the money.
Your wife knows that you met somebody on Plenty of Fish and gave them $2,000.
She knows I lent her the money. She doesn't know about the Plenty of Fish.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
I was going through struggles as far as
Did the two of you have an intimate relationship?
Intimate, yes. Not all the way. We didn't take it all the way, but we did have intimate situations, and I didn't take it further at the time because he was involved. Well, I didn't know he was married, but he was involved in another situation as well with someone else. And that's the reason why I did not want to pursue it, because I was not going to be number 3 in any case.
He told you he had a girlfriend.
I was aware of the girlfriend that he's been going back and forth with. The reason why I created the letter is because I didn't want it to make it seem like I'm using you for your money. So I made a promissory note because his prior relationship is all about the money.
It has nothing to do with this. I never get we're talking about the money. I'm talking about the money that I lent her.
Right.
Not money I spend on anyone else.
Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with it, sir. It has to do with your motivation for lending the money, because the entire question here is whether this money is a gift or a loan. So she's explaining to me the circumstances around the money, the $2,000 that are in question in this case. So why do you say you don't, if you made a promissory note to pay him back $2,000, why do you say you don't owe?
When he went to the house, I was not there, and my daughter, who exchanged the number, he made a comment to my daughter when he received the money, and she gave him the promissory note.
Did you ever have a conversation with her daughter and tell her daughter?
The only conversation I had with the daughter was to pick up the certified letter when I gave her the money.
Is your daughter here today?
Yes, she is.
Let me hear from her.
Coming up, Mary's daughter is called to testify about the money arrangement.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Santiago about that money at some point?
I handed him the letter. He said, "Tell your mom." I said, "Happy Valentine's Day."
And later, former friends argue about the details of a handshake agreement for a Vegas hookup.
Nothing came through, so I told him, you know what, just give me my money back. That's all we want.
So he could not find you another room? That's what you're telling me?
Well, we just didn't want to trust him anymore. We didn't want to deal with it.
Plaintiff Alfred Santiago says Mary signed a promissory note to pay him back. He's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Mary Henriquez says she doesn't owe because Alfred forgave the loan.
Hi, Milani. You can just come and stand next to your mother. How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
12.
12 years old. Do you know the difference between telling a lie and telling the truth?
Yes.
And you know how that's especially important when you're in court before a judge?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know Mr. Alfred Santiago?
Yes.
You've met him before?
Yes.
On several occasions?
Yes.
You've had conversations with him?
Yes.
There's one conversation in particular I want to ask you about. And I understand that you are aware that Mr. Santiago gave your mother $2,000 or
Yes.
some amount of money.
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Santiago about that money at some point?
So my mom wasn't home, and Alfred had came and knocked on the door, and then he handed me the money, and I counted it to make sure that it was the right amount.
You counted the money yourself?
Yes.
Was your mother home at the time?
No.
You agree with that, sir, that she counted the money?
Yeah, exactly what she said.
Okay, so you counted the money. How much was it?
$2,000.
Okay.
And I handed him the letter, and then he walked away, and as he was walking away, he said, "Tell your mom," I said, "Happy Valentine's Day."
Thank you for your testimony. So it's your testimony, Miss Enriquez, that when he turned around and said to your daughter, "Happy Valentine's Day," he was saying, "Happy Valentine's Day, don't worry about paying me this $2,000. I just took this promissory note, but that doesn't mean anything."
Exactly.
You took all that from Happy Valentine's Day?
No, from
Why
the
can't
fact
Happy
that,
Valentine's
no,
Day
from the
just mean
fact-
Happy Valentine's
From
Day?
the fact that he said, "Don't worry about it."
Well, he said he didn't say that.
That's why we're here. He was lying about we met through mutual friends.
Listen, I'm well aware.
And on top of that, he knows where I live.
So, Mr. Santiago, this case could go one of two ways for you. You know that, right? Because when you came into court and I asked you how the two of you met, you just outright bold-faced lied to me about that. Then when I asked about your relationship, why you would give her $2,000, you were like, "Oh, yeah, you know, she's just a friend." Obviously, clearly, this was somebody that you were interested in and that you were dating, and you didn't want to say that because you were married. But guess what? What happens when you decide to bring a lawsuit against a mistress? Your dirty laundry gets aired. That's why most people don't do it. That's why most people don't do it. But you chose to do it.
Nothing happened between us.
So, no, something happened, obviously. So you think I believe that nothing happened? You must think I'm the biggest fool of a judge there is, and I'm not.
She even told you nothing happened.
No, she didn't tell me nothing happened. She told me something happened. And of course it did. Of course you liked her. Of course you were interested in her romantically. But that's not why we're here. Because guess what? You have this little piece of paper called a promissory note. Here's where this situation turns. Because under the law, when you do have a promissory note and something in writing, the only way that that can be amended is by another writing. So I have no choice in this case but to order you to pay back the $2,000 to the plaintiff. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff.
The judge's ruling went by the law. I have the letter, that's how it is. And it's good for my side.
I feel like it wasn't fair, but being that she did have the letter, I guess it went against me. But the truth did not come out.
Plaintiff Cesar Vasquez says the defendant offered to use his connections to get an upgraded hotel room in Vegas, but ended up keeping the money for himself. He's suing for a refund on a hotel villa. Defendant Danny Reyes says he doesn't owe because he secured the upgraded room, but at the last minute, Cesar backed out on the reservation.
Cesar Vasquez,
Here.
you are suing the defendant, Danny Reyes,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,650 for a refund for a hotel.
Yes.
You say you paid the defendant for.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so tell me what's going on. How do you know Mr. Reyes?
Well, we used to work together.
What did you do?
CNC machinist.
Okay.
So that means we make airplane parts.
And were the two of you friends outside of work as well?
Yeah, we hanged out.
Okay.
He came up to my machine and I told him, "Look, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking for a hotel room." And he's like, "Oh, you know what? I got a hostess in Vegas. Maybe I could find something cheaper, better, where you guys could go and have a great time over there."
What were you on in Vegas for?
I was going to go to a music festival.
Mm-hmm.
So Electric Daisy Carnival.
Okay. And so he told you that he would be able to upgrade you and get you this suite for a total of how much money?
Well, it was a villa at first.
Oh, a 3-bedroom villa.
Yeah, it's a villa.
For how much money for the days that you'd be there? $1,650.
$1,650 flat.
Okay, which is great.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way, 3-bedroom villa for, you said 5 days.
5 days.
And for $1,650. So how are you going to be able to manage that, sir?
Well, I'm a member of the M Life. There's a program that you apply for through the casino.
Okay.
And they pretty much keep track of your playing and stuff like that. And they, at the end of every month, they evaluate you and they give you offers. So at a certain casino, I got assigned to a casino marketing host.
Okay.
And what's it called? I had a good relationship with the gentleman, and anything I needed, rooms, buffet or whatever, I would get it comped. So I brought it up to Cesar and told him, you know what, I can give you a better deal than what you're going to be paying for.
You can get the villa for three-bedroom villa for $1,650?
Yes.
Okay. And so you paid him $1,650?
In payments. Yes, in payments.
In payments. Okay. Did you receive that money?
Yes.
So what happened? You didn't get the room?
Well, like a couple weeks before, I was like, let me talk to his hostess, make sure that everything's still okay, everything's still fine. And that's when I found out that he wasn't no longer working there anymore. And so I approached him, I asked him, hey, you know, what's going to happen with what we had and what we had as a deal. And
what did he say?
Coming up on Judge Faith, did the payment on the villa ever get made?
Where's the confirmation from the hotel that the room was booked?
I was trying to search it for it. It doesn't come up anymore.
Plaintiff Cesar Vasquez says Danny never reserved the Vegas villa. He's suing for a refund on a hotel villa. Defendant Danny Reyes says he doesn't know because Cesar asked him to cancel the reservation.
He said he was going to find out and he was going to check into that, look into that, and let me know within a day or two, because I was telling him that, you know what I mean, that the hotels are already getting booked, they're getting sold out.
And when was this? How many weeks before? This is just a couple of weeks?
That was like a week, 2 weeks before, maybe.
So what happens? He comes back to you and tells you what?
You know, that he doesn't work there no more. Maybe I could find you another room at another hotel room. I was like, well, we got to try to do this ASAP because they're getting more expensive and they're just selling out.
So what ends up happening?
Nothing came through, so I told him, you know what, just give me my money back. That's all we want.
So he could not find you another room? That's what you're telling me?
Well, we just didn't want to trust him anymore. We didn't want to deal with it.
Okay, so you'd already paid for the room?
Yes, my host charged my credit card.
Okay, let me see that charge on your credit card.
I don't have the credit card because the account wasn't under my name. It's under my ex-girlfriend's account. I was just the authorized user.
Okay, so you don't have the statement?
No.
And you couldn't ask her for the statement? You knew you were coming to court today?
She didn't want to talk to me. She's upset because of the charge.
So you make a charge on the credit card for the full amount. You and your girlfriend are still together at that point. You don't have a copy of this statement?
I don't have a copy of the statement, no. I was trying to get a copy from the hotel, but since the room got canceled for no-show, they couldn't give me a copy because it automatically deletes from their system.
You don't have a confirmation email from the hotel, but you know when you book a room, right, they send you a confirmation. Where's the confirmation from the hotel that the room was booked? Where is that?
I got sent the confirmation to my email and I forwarded it to him.
So you have it in your email? Show me that proof.
I was trying to search it for it. It doesn't come up anymore. Because after it's been since the reservation
Did he send you confirmation via email?
He forwarded me an email showing a confirmation number, but it wasn't for a 3-bedroom villa. It was for more like a 1-bedroom. But how he was explaining it to me, it was that we're gonna book it this way, but when you get there closer to the date, you're gonna talk to my hostess, and then
you're gonna be upgraded.
Yeah, and then my hostess is gonna do whatever he does on the computer and upgrade it to a 3-bedroom villa.
Because of his connections
because of his connections through his hostess.
So if the room was canceled because he was a no-show, you're telling me that you were charged $1,675?
Yes.
I want something in front of me to show me where the $1,675 went. I've asked you for a number of things. It's very simple. Show me the credit card statement. You don't have it. Show me the reservation from the hotel. You don't have it. Show me a receipt that you paid $1,675. You don't have it. And these are all things that you can get before you come to court today. Why don't you have these things, sir? Is it because they don't exist? Is it because you never booked the room? Is it because you never paid $1,675? Because that's what it's looking like to me.
No, I did pay. I did make the
Show
payment.
me some proof of that. You got to show up to court with something other than just yourself. When this is a case with a clear paper trail, where's the paper?
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You owe the plaintiff $1,650, the payments that he made to you that you confirm you accepted, sir. I find your defense to simply not be credible. I'm just telling you, some people, $1,650 just in the wind, some people may not want to come to court to handle this case. They may want to have a face-to-face conversation with you. I'm just trying to help you out, sir. Can't just take this kind of money from somebody and not expect repercussions. Judgment for the plaintiff, $1,650.
The Electric Daisy Carnival was awesome. 3 days of just partying, having a great time with friends.
So I was an authorized user on my girlfriend's credit card, and I charged the room in the credit card, and she would get all the statements, and due to that, it cost a 9.5-year breakup.
A quiet Sunday evening at home is suddenly disrupted by a drunk driver who tries to pull off a crash and run.
All of a sudden, we heard a big bang. As I was getting my robe and slippers on, they had run out the door.
What did you see when you ran out the door?
Her car on the car.
I dropped my phone and I went to go grab it, and in that instant, I hit the car.
You know, I prosecuted DUI cases. There's not a single case I've had where someone, when I asked how many drinks they've had, they've never had more than 2.
And later, a motorcycle enthusiast accuses his trusted mechanic of destroying his favorite bike.
I started the engine up on the motorcycle. It just sounded horrible. The engine sounded horrible. I got around the corner and it stopped on me completely.
I don't believe that I did that.
Did you take the bike to someone else and have them look at it and get a professional opinion that something he did caused the bike to break down?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Charlene Ogden says a defendant was drunk, crashed into her car, drove off, parked, and ran. She's suing for car damages and repairs. She's accompanied in court today by her daughter-in-law, Tanya Cobbs. Defendant Mandy Banks says she doesn't owe because Charlene ruined her life by calling the police that night, and she's inflating the repair costs. She's accompanied in court today by her stepfather, Ruben Venegas.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Ogden versus Banks.
Thank you, Juan. Charlene Ogden?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Mandy Banks?
Yes, correct.
For $5,913 you say she owes you for car damages and repairs as a result of a hit-and-run accident?
Yes.
Okay, and you have a witness with you today, Tanya Cobbs?
Yes.
Your daughter-in-law?
Yes.
Okay, and you also have a witness, ma'am, your stepfather, Ruben Venegas?
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Okay, we'll start with you, with your side of the case. Why don't you tell me what happened here? What's going on?
On December 27th, we were watching television, and all of a sudden we heard a big bang. And as I was getting my robe and slippers on, my son and Tanya had run out the door, and they found out it was my car.
What did you see when you ran out the door?
Her car on the car.
her car on top of another car?
She's getting off of it because she's trying to get up off of it, and she's skidding on the side of the car. That's when she knocked the mirror off the side.
Okay.
And that's when my husband ran after her, and my godmother across the street threw me her car keys, and I ran, drove not even halfway up the block.
So she took off in the car?
Yes.
And your husband's running down the street?
Yeah. And you can still see the car because he's standing at the car. He's saying, I noticed the car because it's still smoking.
Okay, so by the time you caught up,
right,
you
it
and
was
your
already
husband
parked.
caught up. The car that the defendant was in was parked.
Yes.
And was the door open?
No.
But no one was in it?
No.
And what do you see next?
You can see the smoke coming off the front part of the car, and that's when I knocked on the windows. I was knocking on the windows, which is the neighborhood.
Because it was in front of a house?
In front of the apartments.
Okay, and you thought that the defendant went
I was saying, did they know who drive the car?
Okay.
Asking, did they know who drive the car?
And what happened next?
That's when the lady I know told me that she was in the bathroom.
So you went in the apartment of this neighbor?
She let me in her house, yes.
And what did you see when you got to the bathroom?
She was coming out the door of the bathroom, and that's when I told her she need to come down to the house.
And what else happened in that conversation?
She crying. She's hysterical by then. She's hysterical.
What is she saying?
She was saying, don't call the police, and she'll pay me. She'll pay us. She tried to give me her car keys. I didn't want her car keys. Me knowing my mother-in-law, no, she's going to handle this the legal way.
So let me hear from you now, Miss Banks. What happened?
I had something to drink that night. I went to go try to pick up Dad to get him and bring him back to my house. I hit the car. I dropped my phone. It fell down below my feet, and I went to go grab it, and in that instant, I hit the car. Then I jumped out of the car, and I ran into the house, and that was what happened. And I'm sorry, but I can't. But I did try to, Dad tried to offer. He was getting a settlement. He offered to give him $1,000. I offered my car keys. We tried to do everything that we could, so.
Well, let's back up for a second, because I don't think
I just didn't want to call the police, because where we're from, we don't like to really try to call the police. We try to deal with it without. I didn't want to go to jail. I would have tried to pay for it.
Oh, I know why you didn't want to call the police.
Yes.
I know exactly why you didn't want to call the police.
Yes.
But, that didn't work out too well for you, did it?
No, it didn't.
So let's back up for a second. What have you been drinking?
Some beer.
How many beers?
It was a strong beer, so it was only needed one. It was
One
in the
beer.
car. It was in the car.
Okay, you didn't just have one beer, but I'm going to keep going with this.
Well,
Every time, I prosecuted DUI cases. There's not a single case I've had where someone, when I ask how many drinks they've never had more than 2. Not a single case. They've never had more than 2.
Prior to
you were
driving,
drinking
yes, I had more
in
than
the
that.
car. So let's go with this story. So you had a beer in the car.
Correct.
On your way to pick up your stepfather.
Correct.
One beer.
Correct.
You have an accident. You hit somebody's car. At that moment in time, you decide it'd be best if you just drove away, not stay there and try to handle the
I was literally
situation.
1 block from his house. I was right there.
And so, no, you're not right there because you keep driving.
Because I kept driving.
So
yes.
now you've hit someone's car. You get out of the car, and you go run and hide in somebody's bathroom. Did you have to go to the bathroom too before you had a conversation with him?
I admit that it was wrong.
No, you don't admit that you're wrong because we're here today and there's a lawsuit. So I'm just asking you these questions because you're very cavalier about, I'm sorry, it happened. No.
I can't take it back.
No, you can pay for the damages.
I understand. I really don't think that I owe that much. I really don't feel that I owe that much.
We haven't talked about how much you owe. I just want to talk about the DUI and how often do you do this? Is it your first time being arrested for DUI?
No, it's my second, and I had to turn myself in.
That's exactly what I thought. Patterns don't lie because you've done it enough times where you think you can drink and get in your car and make it home because you've done it other times, and then 2 times you've been caught.
Yes, I was caught twice.
This is not just one of those things, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Correct.
No, because it's happened twice, and that means you've been drinking and driving on multiple occasions, and I'm going to need you to stop. Not only for yourself. You see your father sitting here? You have a family, other people that are on the road? What if that had been a person and not somebody's car?
I think about that all the time.
Sir, please step up.
Coming up, a life lesson is offered in court.
If I had 5 children I had to look at every day in their face and know that I am their mother and I want to be around for them, that would be my incentive.
And later, a motorcycle enthusiast accuses a mechanic of returning his bike in worse condition than when it was dropped off.
I called him up. He said, well, what do you want me to do about it? I said, well, I want you to stand by your work.
Plaintiff Charlene Ogden says Mandy was drunk and crashed into her car. She's suing for car damages and repairs. She's accompanied in court today by her daughter-in-law, Tanya Cobbs. Defendant Mandy Banks says she doesn't know because Charlene's inflating the repair costs.
Is this issue being addressed with your stepdaughter, sir?
Yes, it is.
You're close with her? You communicate with her every day?
Oh, yeah, I love my daughter.
So my question to you is the problem being addressed since this second DUI? She's now been to jail. She now has another charge on her record.
Yeah.
Is it being addressed, sir?
She has slowed down some. She don't drink like she did, but I wish she would quit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all you can do with your kids, you know, talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do what they want anyway. I wish she would quit because she's a good mother and the kids need the attention.
How many children do you have?
I have 5.
Do you drink and drive with your kids in the car?
No, I've never.
How old is your
drank
youngest
ever.
child?
Excuse me?
How old is your youngest?
3.
It sounds like you need to stop altogether because it sounds like you have a problem. All right? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if your father is here who loves you, who's telling you he wishes you'd stop completely, it's because he knows you have a problem. Okay? It's not just 1 or 2 nights where you've gone out, you've had a little too much to drink, and that's the issue. He wants you to stop altogether because you have a problem.
I understand.
So you have 5 children and your youngest is 3. You want to be around for your kids. You got to do everything you can to address this right now.
Right.
I understand.
You don't want your kids growing up with an alcoholic mother. It's not fair to them.
I understand.
It's not fair to you and everyone else who has to be out on the road and risk themselves because someone just can't take responsibility for their own actions.
Correct.
Did you have a driver's license at the time of this accident?
No, I didn't. That's why they treated it the way they did at the court this time, and that's why
Because
I
you'd
have to
already had your license taken away.
Correct. That's why I have to do 18 months worth of anything. I get in trouble for anything else. After this, it's going to be prison time.
When was this, ma'am?
December 27th.
Okay, and you only had liability?
Liability.
Okay. Let me see the damages to your car. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The damages to the plaintiff's car exceeds the value of the car. And that's what I'm going to order the defendant to pay, the total value of the car, in addition to $500 in punitive damages in this case, because I find it to be completely egregious that you've already had a DUI for drinking and driving. You have no license. You have no insurance. I don't know what it's going to take to get through to you, Ms. Banks, because for me, if I had 5 children, I had to look at every day in their face and know that I am their mother and I want to be around for them. That would be my incentive. But I don't know what it's going to take for you because apparently that has not been enough. 5 little lives who depend on you has not been enough. But all I can do is a money judgment in this case, and that's what I'm going to do. $1,500 for the value of the car in addition to $500 in punitive damages. Judgment in this case for the plaintiffs in the amount of $2,000.